Good afternoon, 2 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, and we're back showcasing and highlighting another local business in our community. I'm Rob with Echo Fine Properties. The video behind me, this says it all. Fresh bread, gourmet bread, amazing bread. If you love bread, this is the place to go. You're not going to Publix. This is a local bakery, local guy. Again, look at the video behind me. There's that big oven. It's a huge oven. He puts this bread in. There's the bread going in, and it comes out. There's so many different types of bread he offers there. So right now, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm gonna throw it out to Suzanne Slate, real estate agent at Echo Fine Property. Say hi, Suzanne.
Hi.
And Mr. Johnny Vancora. He is the owner of Bread by Johnny in Jupiter in the Sims Creek Plaza. What's up, Johnny?
What's up, Rob? How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. Suzanne, I got to tell you before you get started with your questions, I was to Johnny's place, I don't know, a few months back, and we highlighted his business, that we got this great video behind us. You can smell the bread when you're walking up to the door. Just, it's amazing. I mean, I wish there was smell-o-vision and I could smell it through my screen right now, because it is to die for. So, Suzanne, I'm going to let you take it away.
All right. Well, Rob, first of all, I think you're wrong because I can smell it from here, just from the pictures. Like, I want to reach through the screen and grab one right now while we're talking. So, Johnny, you have an interesting story how you started. So I think everyone should hear a little bit more about you first.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I started baking when I was about 11, 12 years old with my grandpa, not, selling or anything. But I always wanted to work in a kitchen, and my summer in high school between my 9th and 10th grade, I wanted to work in a kitchen. I applied to like 10 different restaurants. Nobody would hire me. And around that time, a family friend showed me a really simple white bread recipe, and I just fell even more in love with baking. And I was like, I can't get a job now. I might as well start going like door to door and just selling my bread. And then the first week, I think I sold like 6 loaves. And then like the next week it was like 8 and then 10. And then I got like invited to go to the farmer's market, and we sold out there. And then it just kind of kept growing and growing all throughout high school. And I just fell more and more in love with baking bread. By the time I was leaving for college, I was doing like 2 different farmers markets every week at about 50 subscribing customers door to door. And I would sell about 200 loaves every single week.
Wow. How did you do that back then? Did you have in your parents' kitchen or what?
Yeah, I was in my parents' home oven. I made the dough in the garage, shaped it, let it rise in the garage, shaped it in the garage, and then threw it in the home oven the next day. It would ferment overnight, and then I'd bake them about 4 at a time. It would take oftentimes like 16 hours to bake all the bread, so I'd be very tired. And it's funny because I'd actually consider the weekends more strenuous than school week. But it was worth it. It was always fun, and I always loved it. It was cool to be immersed in the culture at the farmers markets, which is something I still love up until now, even though they're not really going on right now. It's still still have actually used some of the farmers market vendors for products in the bakery too, like Olive Oil of the World. We use their olive oils, Calabrian chili paste, tomatoes, za'atar. It's all like really good products that we got, and we met them through the farmers markets. So it was cool just kind of seeing how what I was doing in high school actually kind of links back to here as well.
Yeah, it kind of evolved. So how many flavors of bread do you make?
On any given day, we make about 10 different ones. But in total, we probably have in the repertoire, probably have like 50 or 60 or so, just different ones that we'll make for certain specials, for holidays and things. Like weekends, we make a bunch of different ones that we don't make during the week, like our prosciutto bread, olive bread, our Honduran pan de coco, coconut bread, Calabrian chili provolone, which is like an Italian spin on like a jalapeno cheddar.
You're making me hungry. It's like, wow. But we were talking earlier, and you definitely have an idea what to eat with your breads too.
Yeah.
Like, you said Nutella and different oils. Tell us what else mixes with your bread, because that's part of the experience.
Yeah. So I would say for our country sourdough, I'd recommend having that as a grilled cheese. There's lots of big irregular air pockets in that loaf. So when you kind of put the cheese in there and it hits the skillet, the cheese will start to melt through and then go in fall down the holes and hit the skillet and get nice and crusty on the outside. Lots of the loaves are really versatile. I was telling Jeff about or Rob. I was telling Rob about the pan de coco. It's being used by leftovers as a BLT bread, even though it's like sweet. It's like a sweeter coconut. It's not super sweet, and it's very versatile. You get some of that coconut flavor, and it works really well for that BLT. And then like other loaves, like the sesame, are really versatile. You go either sweet or savory. You go sweet, you could spread some Nutella on it, or you could bake it with a little bit of olive oil and then throw some za'atar on there, like a Middle Eastern spice blend, and it's really, really good.
Do you slice the bread for people too? I went to a no, you don't.
We used to slice it by hand for people, but with everything going on, we don't want to touch the bread by hand. But I'm weird in the sense that I think that bread slicers kind of slice through and like destroy the soul of the bread. It looks very violent. Like, I really don't like them. It's like you see like a beautiful loaf that you spend like 3 days making, and you see it going through like all these tiny little knives, just slicing it up into little pieces. It just makes me kind of sad. Seeing it get dried out. I hate slicers.
Definitely have a love affair with your bread. I love that. Well, here's a tough question. How'd you come up with your name? Bread by Johnny. I love it. Because it is what it is. I mean, when you come up with a name for a company, some people, think about it for days and days and days, but that's what it is. Bread by Johnny.
Yeah. That's what I called it back in high school. I remember I originally wanted to call it like Loaves of Love, but like my mom and sister like, that's a terrible name. Like, think of something else, which I agree with it, but like in retrospect, that was a terrible name. And they were like, what about Bread by Johnny? I was like, that sounds good. And like just ran with it.
That's awesome. Do you have a special every day, or do you have a I'm sure your white bread is every day.
So we have like we have like certain ones that we make every day, like our pane arioso baguette, our filone ciabatta, our country sourdough, heritage whole grain, cinnamon raisin, focaccia, sesame, Brooklyn rye, lunchbox. Those are all the ones we make every day. Then we have certain specials based off the day of the week. Like today was Wednesday. We had a sunflower semolina and cranberry walnut. Tomorrow we're gonna have our milk and honey whole wheat and some little hard rolls made with the pane arioso bread. Friday it's like the muesli, New York breakfast bread, and brioche buns. Saturday, and prosciutto bread we do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday and Sunday we have olive, pan de coco, Calabrian chili cheese, fig and walnut, and prosciutto bread, like I said. And then we also do chocolate sea salt brioche rolls.
Can you hear all this, Rob? Are you getting hungry?
I just had to mute myself there. There's so many choices in bread, Suzanne. I mean, I didn't realize there was this much different ways you can make bread, but Johnny finds a way to do it. It's been a weird time with the COVID-19, the coronavirus, and Johnny, what are the precautions you're taking as a business owner, and how people can come and safely get their bread?
Yeah, of course. You can see like everyone in the bakery, we all wear masks to protect the customers, to make sure we're not spreading anything. We only let one person or group in at a time, like a husband and a wife, or like a father-son, and like they only come in at once, and everyone else waits outside at a safe distance. We also are offering curbside pickup right now, where you can call up the bakery at 561-768-9423, and you can place your order over the phone. It's completely contactless. Just read off your credit card, you enter the breads you want, we bag it up, and you can roll in, call us again, say, hey, I'm here, and pop the trunk, and we'll bring it out to you. We also only have, like when we're super busy, we have 2 people at the register, or one person bagging the bread by the racks, and then one person handling the transaction, whether it's like cash or credit card. So the person handling the money doesn't handle the bread, just to keep it nice and separated. And then there's other things that we've been doing from the jump that haven't really changed because of this, such as using tongs to grab the bread, constantly washing our hands, just because it's gross if you don't, and regardless of if there's a pandemic going on.
Yeah.
And just taking regular precautions, like in addition to the ones that keep people kind of separated and distance and preventing the spread of things.
Well, we love that you're local, and unfortunately our farmer markets aren't open this time of the year, but hopefully when things go by, at least the Palm Beach Gardens one, they usually go into the storage area. Do you go in the summer, or it's just wintertime?
It's not really I don't think it's going on right now. I know they're doing like a drive-through one. We haven't been doing that. We've been staying I've been focusing on the shop right now, just because Saturdays and Sunday mornings have been very hectic with people calling in and like trying to place the orders and multiple people coming in, like getting ready for their curbsides. And I think it's really important for us just to make sure that everyone who's coming to the shop gets taken care of, and like we don't miss calls. We make sure that we get back to everyone as soon as we can, and just make sure that we're like on top of the shop and make sure that everyone has as great of an experience as they can, so we don't want to spread ourselves too thin with everything going on. So we're just kind of staying in the shop and making it as easy for people and easy and safe for everyone to get the bread as possible.
So I got a question for you, Johnny. What's the best bread that you make to make a perfect grilled cheese?
Well, the country I think is the best one for the grilled cheese because it's flavorful with the sourdough starter. It has a really nice flour blend, but it has these, like I mentioned before, it has really open air pockets in it, like irregular air holes. And the cheese just kind of melts through those air holes and hits the skillet, and you get like that crusty caramelized cheese, kind of like on the outside of your grilled cheese, and it's amazing.
Suzanne, are you hungry yet?
I am, but I have a question because a lot of people, a lot of women and people that are in the fitness want things that are low carb. Do you offer some other alternative?
No, but with that being said,
Good.
all of our breads they're not necessarily lower carb or lower calorie, but they're made with a sourdough starter. The sourdough starter is a colony of wild yeast and lactobacillus bacteria that live in flour and water. You can make your own sourdough starter by mixing together organic whole grain flour and water, and the yeast from your hands, the flour, the air, the water, and the bacteria kind of start to colonize it. They're eating the sugars and the starches from that flour and water mixture, and actually kind of producing these gases like the carbon dioxide that leavens the bread. The gluten in the bread, which is the proteins that are formed in it, are what cause the air to be trapped in there so the bread's able to rise, which is the reason why breads with gluten are fluffier and puffier rather than ones that are gluten-free that are denser and tighter. So sourdough starter, it's a better product in the sense that it tastes better, it has a better texture, and it keeps better because the acetic and lactic acid that's produced are actually antimicrobial, which prevent mold from growing in it. So those are all really good things on their own. But there's lots of emerging studies done by really great colleges and universities and scientists that are showing how sourdough bread is a much healthier alternative. Like we have customers that come in with Crohn's disease that can't eat any bread because it like wreaks havoc on their digestion. But they could eat our bread because the way it's fermented and it kind of breaks down the starches and the gluten chains through that long fermentation process and make it much more digestible. Same thing with diabetics. The starches or the sourdough starter, those bacteria and those yeasts eat up the sugars and everything, lowering the glycemic index of the bread, making it much more tolerable for those with diabetes. So it's a much better bread to eat. I mean, granted, like I could lose a few pounds. I probably eat too much of the bread. But if you're having a similar amount of like this bread versus another one, it's like a much healthier option just because of the way it's fermented and the flour that we use. It's all organic flour. The flour is freshly milled. You get it from different sources like freshly milled flour. And when you get the flour that's freshly milled, it just kind of holds on to those vitamins and minerals and fibers and everything that you wouldn't, that kind of goes away when it's sitting out. It kind of goes rancid.
Suzanne, if you couldn't tell from that, Johnny is very passionate about what he does. His product is, again, it's to die for. There's so many different choices. The focaccia bread. I mean, I can go down the list. He's gone down the list already. Specialty breads during special times of the year. Another local business owner in our area. Johnny, people are interested in maybe getting some bread for this weekend, or maybe for next week they're going to pack sandwiches when they go back to work. What's the best way to get in touch with you and call in advance?
I would recommend calling up the shop at 561-768-9423. The number is on our website. It's on our Facebook page, our Instagram, the Google page. You can call us up at that number, and you could kind of, during our normal business hours, 8 to 3, you can say, hey, like I want this loaf of bread on this day. Like I want a sesame for next Wednesday. And we'll be like, okay, and we can just enter your credit card in, and you could reserve your loaf like as far in advance as you'd like, and you just pay over the phone. You could come in, or you could roll up your car, and you could bring it right to your car, and that way you don't have to even leave your car, or you don't have to worry about paying using cash or anything, or touching anything, and it's super, super effective, and it's good for us too, because if you order in advance, we know to make an extra loaf of something for you, so we get a better idea of how much to make.
And
Do you have
John-
tastings in the store? I mean, it's different now with Corona, I guess. You have to be careful. But if you came in and saw bread, do you have, samples? I mean, there's so many.
We did samples before, but we're not doing samples now.
Yeah.
We just don't. We're not really looking for that. Like, we don't want you don't like.
Sure, touching and all
It's
that.
people touching tongs and stuff, and then
Yeah.
we're not like more than half people would ignore the tongs and be like, oh, I want this one, then put the other one back. No, this piece is better. And like,
Right.
we just, it doesn't seem responsible to be doing samples at the moment.
Right.
Lots of times, we see regulars or someone comes in for the first time and they're choosing between two loaves. We always have little baby loaves and stuff. So I'll usually just throw in that's a leftover piece of dough that's a smaller one that's not quite a fully formed loaf. I usually like to throw that in for people.
But you're always there for a suggestion if someone.
Of course, yeah. Someone's like, I'm coming. Like, we had someone call up today who's doing like a lobster dinner tomorrow. And they're saying they're making like a lobster salad, and they're like, we don't know which bread to use. And I recommended the baguette because you can grill it, toast it, and it's really nice. Just like it would the texture is great for a sandwich or for anything, but it doesn't overshadow the subtle flavor of like lobster. And like I'd be happy, and I'm always happy to because I love cooking and I love food, so I love being able to match up people's meals with a great bread.
And that alone right there is why it's important, Suzanne, to support a business like Bread by Johnny, because you're going to get that one-on-one customer interaction where again, I don't want to put them under the bus here, but Publix or anywhere like that, there's no one there to really talk to. Yeah, maybe the lady in the bakery who kind of knows what she's doing. Maybe she just threw the loaves in, but Johnny can talk to you about the bread. He can make suggestions. He can, maybe you have something special you want in the bread. Maybe he can try to work a way to figure something out. I mean, it's amazing the product Johnny has there. Another local business in our community, located in Jupiter, right off Indiantown Road in the Sims Creek Plaza. That's near Bolay, right, Johnny?
Yeah, same plaza as the Bolay, the Blaze Pizza, Lynn Burgers. Right next to Pie used to be. It's right across the street from the Home Depot on the north side, whereas the Home Depot is the south side.
So we need to continue to support businesses like Johnny's. Johnny, give me that number one more time for people to call if they want to order from you.
Of course, 561-768-9423. And you could just place your order whenever you want. We're closed on Monday, Tuesday, so not Monday, Tuesday, but any other time you can call up, place your order. Or yeah. And you could also, if you don't get through the phone, you can also send me an email at johnny@breadbyjohnny.com. We don't do the order over email, but it's much easier for us to see an email rather than check the voicemail. So if you email us at that johnny@breadbyjohnny, I could get back to you with your phone number, and I can just call you back, and you can do your order that way.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, Johnny, I want to thank you for joining us today to talk a little bit more about your business. Again, those just joining us on Facebook, it's Bread by Johnny, Johnny Vancora, owner, Sims Creek Plaza in Jupiter. Look at that focaccia bread behind me. Oh, my God. Oh, good God. Well, Johnny, I think I'll be in this weekend. Maybe I'll take a drive over.
Awesome.
I'll grab some bread.
Sounds great.
Check it out. And, Johnny, Suzanne, thank you so much, too.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
And have a great
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yep,
I really appreciate it.
Love having you. We'll be there.
Have a great
Perfect.
afternoon, everyone.
You too.